Depression is a big business, and you are the product. Depression is a lie. That's what your friends, your family, society won't tell you. You see? But in this video, I'm gonna break it down. So let's talk about it. First of all, there's 3 reasons why you are depressed, so-called depressed. First of all, perception. You view your reality in a negative light. You know, you're viewing your job, the people that you work with, your relationship. You know, you are looking at your bank account and saying that that's not enough money. It's not good enough. You know, all every little the smallest of things you're viewing it negative, and therefore you create a negative state of mind because that is what depression is all about. It's self-inflicted. You created it, so you're viewing reality in a negative light because perception creates reality. Based on the reality that you live in, the way you view your reality, that's how you're going to feel. That's how you're going to feel. You're either going to feel abundant, prosperous, or you're going to feel anxiety, stress, depression, frustration. You see? Now, the second thing is thoughts. Your dominant thought creates your reality. As a man thinks so in his heart, so is he. And so he remains. So everything starts from a thought. This mobile phone, this mic, it's all got created from a thought. That's where creation starts from. You know, and then it manifests into reality. So your dominant thought is negative, whether you believe it or not. You feel everything. You're viewing a negative. You're viewing it in a negative way. Everything. You know, from your diet to your physique. To where you live, what car you drive. All these things. You're thinking it in a negative way, and that's why it creates a negative state, which we call depression. You see. So if you want to change your reality, you've got to change your thoughts. You see, everything you got to view it in a positive light. You got to think of it in a positive light. You know, your diet, your health, your finances, your family, your children. All these things you have to think in a positive light. And once you change your thoughts, then your feeling changes, and your behavior changes. Your behavior pattern changes, and so you're able to do the right thing. So you don't get into a depressed state. Now, this is another big one. The third one is lack of accountability and responsibility. You see, a person who doesn't take responsibility for where they act in their life, where they act mentally, physically, spiritually, where they act with their job, their career. You see, so anything that's going wrong in your life is going wrong in your life. You have to view it. You have to take responsibility because responsibility creates power. So you're able to change the situation. But if you don't take responsibility, then by default, you are playing the victim mindset. And once you got the victim mindset, you've got no power, zero power. You see, because all you're doing is complaining, whining like a woman. That's what you'll be doing. You're blaming everything outside yourself, apart from yourself. That's no responsibility, no accountability. But the day you start taking accountability, responsibility for your actions, that's where your life changes forever. Now, this is the first thing. This is the first phase. I'm gonna show you the blueprint of phase one of how to overcome so-called depression. You see, I got a couple more I got a couple more comments soon. But first of all, what the phase one is stabilize your system, biological resets, aka biological resets. So what do I mean by that? Is first of all, the first one is fix your sleep to overcome depression. So sleeping, we spend 1/3 of our lives sleeping. That's how important sleeping is. Sleeping 8 to 9 hours every day. Between that time, to fix your sleep. And how do you sleep? You make sure you don't eat late. You make sure you don't drink water late. No anything that's give you energy, you don't have it. You make sure that you got your magnesium glycinate. You make sure that you stretch out. You make sure that your room is dark. You see, your room is dark. You make sure there's a cold air in your room. You know, and make sure to meditate so in a calm, relaxed state. You make sure that you're not on your phone for the last hour before you go sleep. You can't be on your phone because that activates your dopamine, and that's gonna give you energy. That blue light. So all these things, when you follow this law, this rule, you every single day you will sleep 10 out of 10. That's what I do, and every single day my sleep is 10 out of 10, and you should be doing the same. Fix your sleep, because if you got poor sleep, yeah, if you sleep poor, your focus, your energy is off, your mood is off. You cannot be at your best. It's impossible to be at your best. The second one is move daily. Moving daily is so important. That's a lot of people are suffering right now for anxiety, stress, depression, because we are animals. We are living species. We need to move just like the animals, the dogs, the cats. When dogs and animals wake up, what do? They stretch out. There you go. So we human beings, we are no different. We are no different. We have to, by any means necessary, to move, and that's exercising. I don't care whether you're doing calisthenics, you're doing CrossFit, you're doing bodybuilding, anything that gives you moving, that burns calories, burns fat. Because when you exercise, now you're in a perfect state. You're happy, you're joyous, you feel motivated, your enthusiasm is good, and you're ready. When you got a great workout in, you're ready for anything. You see, that creates a positive mindset, a positive state of consciousness where you move daily. So start moving daily, no excuses, because that's where all the negative emotions come from: anxiety, stress, depression. So start moving daily. Clean up your diet. The reason why you are depressed is because your diet is trash. Chocolate, sweets, junk food, processed food. All these foods are all poison to the body. You're consuming death, because whatever that you eat becomes you. So if you eat trash, you become trash. Because why is that? Because you get suffer from illness and disease. You see, illness and diseases you get experience, because that is what your body produces based on what you consumed. But when you clean up your diet, you eating whole foods. For example, your lentils, your banana, your fruits. That those foods create a positive state in your mind, positive mindset. Positive state of consciousness, because you purify your mind, your body, and your spirit. When you eat the foods that you eat it to live, not to die. You are you're nourishing your mind, body, and spirit. You're adding years to your life. That is the difference between eating to die and eating to live. So stocking up your diet, no excuses. And all these points, by the way, I've mentioned, all these you have to take every single box at the highest level possible. Otherwise, you can stay stuck in depression forever. So make sure that you clean up your diet, because based on what you consume is going to determine how long you will live for. Based on the fuel that you fuel your body with, is gonna determine how long you will live for. And that goes show what you have to do. Otherwise, you played yourself. Limits, and the last thing is limit dopamine addiction. You know, what I'm talking about dopamine addiction, talk about your mobile phone, scrolling your phone. That's fake dopamine. Netflix and chill for hours, dopamine. Playing video games, dopamine. Intoxication, any form. Intoxication, any form, is dopamine. You see, you need to reduce completely down, right down to the bottom. the best alternatives to consume real dopamine is reading, playing chess, doing breath work, writing, drawing. Those are positive dopamines because those activate neural pathways in your brain. That's going to expand your brain. It's going to make your brain healthier. It's going to age gracefully when you consume a real dopamine. When you do habits of real dopamine, that's what happens. So apply these 4 steps. Fix your sleep, move daily, clean up your diet, limit your dopamine addiction. Once you done that, you become unstoppable.